I'm Max Pringle with these headlines. President Trump's special Ukraine envoy, Keith Kellogg, arrived in Kyiv today for meetings with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky ahead of the third anniversary of the Russian invasion of that country.
It's good to be back in Kyiv again. To have some wonderful talks with President Zelensky and staff and military commanders. It's kind of nice that I'm here just a few days before the third anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
The meeting comes one day after Secretary of State Marco Rubio held talks with Russian officials in Saudi Arabia about ending the war in Ukraine without Ukrainian officials present. And it comes a day after President Trump suggested inaccurately that Ukraine was responsible for the war. The fact is, Russian forces invaded Ukrainian territory on February 24th, 2022. Ukrainian President Zelensky accused Trump of living in a Russian-made disinformation space. The back and forth marks a significant crack in the U.S.-Ukrainian alliance after years of U.S. support for Ukraine's national defense. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron will host another meeting of allies to discuss ways to support Ukraine after being shut out of talks between U.S. and Russian officials about ending the Russia-Ukraine war. More from Ross Cullen in Paris.
President Trump, in a news conference on Tuesday, blamed Kyiv for starting the war despite Ukraine being invaded by Russia, and his comments came after the meeting in Riyadh between Marco Rubio and Sergei Lavrov. All of these worrying signs for Ukraine's Western allies. Emmanuel Macron hosted a summit with the UK, Germany, Italy and other major European powers on Monday, but it broke up without a joint statement, and he will be hoping for more unity on Wednesday when the Baltic states, Canada, Norway and 6 other European countries attend the online talks. Ross Cullen, Paris.
Meanwhile, European Union officials have approved new sanctions against Russia, with the measures set to enter into force next week on the third anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The move comes with the Europeans sidelined from U.S.-led talks with Russia to end the war. The sanctions will target dozens more officials and organizations and impose new trade and bank restrictions. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen welcomed their adoption on Wednesday by the 27-nation bloc's ambassadors. She said on social media that, quote, "We are committed to keep up the pressure on the Kremlin. EU foreign ministers are due to endorse the sanctions on Monday." Newly installed Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. told agency employees that a commission formed by President Trump will investigate the childhood vaccine schedule and other issues as a way to examine the rise in chronic diseases. The announcement on Tuesday raises questions about the promise he made during his confirmation hearings to Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, a Louisiana physician. Cassidy harbored deep misgivings over Kennedy's anti-vaccine advocacy, but said Kennedy had promised not to change the nation's current vaccination schedule. The Vatican says Pope Francis slept peacefully and ate breakfast after developing pneumonia in both his lungs. The Vatican said the 88-year-old pontiff got out of bed and his heart is in good condition. More from Lawrence Brooks.
Francis was admitted to a Rome hospital Friday after a week-long bout of bronchitis worsened. Medics determined he was suffering from a polymicrobial respiratory tract infection, meaning a mix of viruses, bacteria and possibly other organisms had colonized in his organs that are responsible for breathing. The Vatican has since confirmed the Pope's infection also involves asthmatic bronchitis, which requires the use of cortisone antibiotic treatment. But a spokesperson says the Pope, who had the upper lobe of his right lung removed as a young man, is in good spirits and is grateful for the prayers for his recovery. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
And I'm Max Pringle. Those are the news headlines.